All of today is a grand rehearsal. Simon is dead. So, the town will meet its death at the same hand as Simon's. You think escaping your fate is just as simple as escaping your purpose? Not so. You will see for yourself. Changeling went to the dangerous and the suspicious as an envoy of death itself. The Housefathers think they rule the world. Self-isolation breeds self-delusion. A wrong place invites a fatal turn of events. My condolences to the new governor. It would be curious to take a look at Simon now. The town is undergoing a vicious transformation. Its internals have changed already, giving birth to a plethora of juvenile life forms. They are, shall we say, both puerile and demented, a real piece of work. It's a town of freaks, and they're all doomed anyway. I don't think the disease may be stopped at all. Survival is your main concern. The Inquisitor arrives tomorrow. They'll know what to do. She had made an example of murderers and madmen. That was merely an overture. The game itself is yet to begin. They say this Borak has managed to make a panacea. Clara will follow in Bachelor's footsteps now. All of you have done much harm. Haruspex is not as simple as he looks. He has an agenda of his own. The army arrives tomorrow. That's not the train we were waiting for. The foreman has hooves for feet. Someone who saw it told me he does. Something's brewing. The balance of power seems to be changing. The commander and the Inquisitor haven't had a meeting. A bad sign. This changeling has changed. So self-assured. She's playing the end game. Haruspex thinks it's a trial. He doesn't have the faintest idea how we live here. Haruspex thinks it's a trial. He doesn't have the faintest idea how we live here. Inadvertently, I get the feeling that the population is actually growing. Although, let's not go there. Bad joke. Changeling is the most sincere of them all. Some of them she saves, others condemns to death. At least she knows what she wants. Everything worked out just fine. Clara has made a deal with the commander. The cannons will be kept at bay as long as we agree to turn the town into an altar. Meanwhile, the orphan has become an important figure. One can say he's attained ultimate power. Yes. What? We have sufficient strength to support the misfortunes of others. We find very few ungrateful people when we are able to confer favors. It is sometimes necessary to play the fool, to avoid being deceived by cunning men. When we do not find peace of mind in ourselves, it is useless to seek it elsewhere. A man would rather say evil of himself than say nothing. Our delusionment is often a delight to both our friends and enemies. There is great ability in knowing how to conceal one's ability. Only knowing our fortune in advance could we predict our conduct. Even the wisest of men may be so indifferent in ordinary matters, but they are seldom so in their most serious affairs. These children have had someone die on them. I know that for sure. You can hear them better in the theater than in the polyhedron. If we're in the majority, the fragile polyhedron will be left untouched. We'll manage to sustain life in it. Maria can do miracles.